I have a work, I have a job, I work in a television company, or I work for a television company. Jane has 2 jobs, or Jane has 2 works, or Jane has to work. She works like a secretary, or she works as a secretary. What's the right way of saying that? Keep watching this video to learn more. Everyone who learns English make the same mistakes at first. And that's okay. And this video shows you examples of those common mistakes and how to correct them. How not to make these common mistakes in English. Today we are going to talk about jobs, works, money, and the words that go together. And in the end of the video, we will do the review exercise to help you to remember everything we learn. So keep watching this video up to the very end. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and press like because it will tell me how much you appreciate it. Number 1, work and jobs. Very often students ask me, so what's the difference between a job and work? Because in some languages the translation of these words is the same. The first example, I work like a waitress on Fridays. And I will give you the simplest explanations of these words. And this phrase, work like means similar. For example, I work like a slave, which means you work very hard and your salary is probably very low or you get very little money. But if you want to tell someone your position at work, use as. I work as a waitress on Fridays. Next, I have a good work. That's wrong. Work is uncountable. You can't count it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can finish some work and then do some different work. A job, architect, teacher, etc. is the same every day. So the right way to say, I have a good job. I go to my work by bicycle. You need to say, I go to work without my, your, his, etc. So the right way of saying that is, I go to work by bicycle. Sometimes I hear people say, what's your occupation, David? Occupation is the formal word usually used in writing, official forms, etc. So use job. For example, what's your job? Or you can simply say, what do you do? I am an architect. I am a teacher. I am a journalist. Number 2, companies. In this section, we are going to talk about words like chief, manager, worker, management, work in, work for, personal, and personnel. The wrong way is if you say there are 2 chiefs in my office, this is what you mean. That actually 2 chiefs in your office sit and do something. Well, you can have a chief executive, chief accountant, but a chief is usually a leader of a tribe of American Indians. At work, you have a boss or a manager. And you need to say, there are 2 managers in my office. Sometimes I hear people say the word laborers, because this is how it translates from their language. The laborers have asked the manager for more money. In industry, pay and conditions are discussed by workers and managers. So instead of laborers, you better use the word workers. For example, the workers have asked the manager for more money. Next mistake that people sometimes make is I work in finance company. You need to use in to say where exactly you work in the company. For example, in the accounts department. And to tell someone about your employer, you can simply say, I work for a finance company. So right now, once and for all, let's work with the prepositions with work. And what do they mean? You say, I work in a city or area. For example, he works in Manhattan. You say, I work in A type of a place such as a bank, shop, or factory. For example, she works in a library. You say, I work at a particular place or organization. For example, she works at the Library of Congress. You say work for when you say, I work for a person, company, or organization that employs you or hires you. For example, he works for his father, or we both work for the same company. And you say you work in an industry or type of job, for example, education, advertising, or IT, which is very popular nowadays. If you work in IT, let me know in the comments down below. And let me know in the comments down below in what industry do you work. For example, he works in advertising. And you say you work as a waiter, a cashier, an accountant, etc. For example, she works as a cook. Please don't forget about the article a cook. Never say she works as cook, but you work on a project or task. For example, several people worked on the report. Another mistake, which is pretty understandable, is when people say, let's say, for example, I work in a personal department. Well, personal means that it is something that is connected to your private life. For example, can I ask you a personal question? But the department that helps individuals at work is the personnel department. Can you see the slight difference? Personal, personnel. My personal life, personnel department. You can do it. And let's look at the example. I work in the personnel department. Good job. Make sure to make sentences with these phrases and write them down in the comments down below. You need to practice because when you practice, you will remember things better. So personal, it is something relating to or belonging to a particular person. Let's look at some examples. I can only speak from my own personal experience. Or, please ensure you take your all personal belongings with you when you leave the train or plane. And personal, it is something relating to the private parts of someone's life, including their relationships and feelings. For example, he's got a few personal problems at the moment. And personnel, those are people who work for an organization. Number 3, money. And the first mistake that we are about to discuss here is connected with the word pay. For example, people might say, if you pay the food, I'll buy the drink. But you have to pay someone for something when you buy it. You can pay the bill, you can pay the tax, because you don't buy these things. So the correct way of saying that is, if you pay for the food, I'll buy the drinks. And in this section, we are going to discuss words like pay for, wage, salary, rise, raise, price, and the cost of living. The next mistake is doctors get a good wage. Well, it's not exactly correct. Well, as I told you, it's a mistake. You know, like some workers, they usually do physical jobs and they get a weekly wage for the job they do. And most people nowadays, especially professionals, get a monthly salary. They just get it every month. And doctors are those people, I admire those people, thanks God for doctors. And usually doctors are those people who work many hours, they work hard, and they usually work in one specific place, right? That's why they get a salary, monthly salary. If you're a doctor, thank you very much for being a good person in this world. Somebody has to do this kind of work. So the right way of saying that is doctors get a good salary. And me personally, I hope that you guys, doctors, get a good salary because you deserve it all. So another mistake is we will have to raise the price of this product. A price rises when it increases. But if someone increases the price, they raise the price. Raise. Rise, raise. Rise, it means to increase in level. For example, rising temperatures or price rose by 10%. And raise means to lift something to a higher position. For example, to raise your hand, to raise prices, taxes, or raise also means to increase an amount or level. For example, to raise prices, to raise taxes. It also means to improve something. For example, to raise standards. So the right way to say that will be, we will have to raise the price of this product. Another mistake is the price of living is very high in London, but you pay a price in order for you to have something. And to say how expensive a city or country is, we say the cost of living is very high in London. Well, that's true. That's true. And in London, I know some people are very excited when they retire because they have good discounts for the public transportation like train, maybe buses. But let me know if you know more. What kind of discounts you may have when you get older. And the next topic that we are going to discuss, number 4, it is going to be about words that go together. And you just have to learn those words. And you learn it by repeating it over and over again. And these combinations just sound right to native English speakers who use them all the time. Trust me. You just need to learn them in groups that work best for you. You could learn them by topics, time, number, weather, money, family, or by particular words like, let's take the word take. For example, take action, take a chance, take an exam. I never do mistakes in English. Ooh, that was wrong. We don't say we don't do a mistake. We say we make a mistake.
I make a mistake.
We make a speech. We make a phone call. Good job. Remember, we make a mistake. We make a speech. We make a phone call. Just remember that. But we don't make an exercise. That's a mistake. You need to say we do an exercise. We do a job or we do some work. Do you remember that a job, it's something countable? 1, 2, 3, 4, you can count it. And work, it is an uncountable noun. That's why I say some work. And we do business with somebody. So let's repeat again. We do an exercise, we do a job or some work, and we do business with somebody. We don't make an exam. That's wrong. We take an exam, we take a course, we take a day off work. And we don't make an interview. That's wrong. We say we have an interview.
So we have an interview with...
We have a lesson and we have a meeting. So in this section, we have talked about words make, do, have, and take. So let's review and repeat everything we have learned. And right now you need to choose the right answer. And when you are done, I will tell you the correct answers. So choose the correct answer, write it down, and then check it. Number 1, what do you do? Or what are you doing? I work in or I work for a television company. Number 2, Jane has 2 jobs or Jane has 2 works. She works like or she works as a secretary in a multinational company. 3, he is the chief or he is the boss, but he goes to his work or he goes to work by bicycle. 4, teachers get a good salary or wage in the USA, but the cost or price of living is also higher there. Choose the correct answer and listen to the correct answers. Number 1, what do you do? I work for a television company. Number 2, Jane has 2 jobs. She works as a secretary in a television company. 3, he is the boss, but he goes to work by bicycle. 4, teachers get a good salary in the USA, but the cost of living is also higher there. Good job! You did great! Thank you very much for doing this with me. And thanks again for watching this video up to the very end. I can't tell you how much I enjoy seeing new subscribers every day, and I love reading all of your comments. So thank you for pressing like, subscribing, and commenting. Have a good one! See you soon in the next video. Bye bye!